Senator Bill Nelson of Florida now joins us by phone from his home in Orlando. We very much appreciate the time, Senator. I know it has certainly been quite a 48 hours for your state, and certainly as Matthew has now touched up against the eastern coast of Florida, certainly a big day does loom for you. So first and foremost, what can you tell us about what you're seeing there in Orlando?
Josh, the eye of the hurricane is about 20 miles right off the coast, just north of the tip of Cape Canaveral. So it's off the Cape Canaveral Seashore National Park. I'm 30 miles inland in Orlando. Lots of wind here, moderate rain, but that's by virtue of the fact that instead of being a Category 4, it's a Cat 3. The winds are on the coast in that highest of the northeast quadrant at about 115 miles an hour, but that's not the most severe that is hitting the coast on the northwest quadrant. However, the rest of the day, it's going to tear up the beach and the coast as it moves up. It's bearing down on Daytona Beach right now, and that wall of water, that storm surge that you've heard so much about, is going to affect all of the lowlands all the way up the coast to South Carolina.
Warnings have been given, certainly with increasing frequency and urgency in the last 2 to 3 days, Senator, that this is a storm that packs considerable punch. And it was said in the last 24 hours, simply, this is a storm that will kill you. What is your sense, then, of the evacuation of the eastern coast of Florida?
Most people complied, very fortunately, because they were told if you're on that barrier island, which we call the beach, and if it's a Category 4 with winds of 140 miles an hour, then you were looking at the catastrophe like a Hurricane Andrew that hit South Miami in 1992 and just leveled things. In fact, we know now it was a Cat 5, but it weakened a little bit. It stayed off in the Atlantic here, and the damage is going to be a lot of storm surge as it proceeds northeast up the coast.
I also want to ask you, Senator, it does bear mentioning you are a Democrat there in the state of Florida. Your Republican governor, Rick Scott, has thus far refused to extend the deadline for voter registration. I know that deadline is October 11th. He has said, look, people had enough time to register, and so he doesn't see any need to do it. What are your thoughts about the decision of Governor Scott to this point?
Well, you know, typically in the middle of a storm, I wouldn't get into politics, but I feel compelled to answer your question. There's no sense that you wouldn't make it easier for people to vote and also to register to vote. And there are going to be some people, because of this massive monster storm, that will have not registered at the last moment, which is next Tuesday. So why don't you make it easier for them to register to vote? I disagree with his decision.
Is it a decision that you will be discussing with him?
Well, if I have occasion over the next couple of days to see him, but I will certainly convey that to his office, as I am right now by means of your broadcast.
Well, again, Senator Bill Nelson, as you mentioned, as the day has dawned there in Florida, Hurricane Matthew is certainly the thing that state need be focused upon. We very much appreciate your time today.
You have a great day, Josh.